Hey everyone, welcome back to our YouTube channel. There are moments when life seems to pause, when the world goes utterly silent. It isn't the gentle quiet of night or the soft hush of dawn, but a deafening silence that shakes you to your core. Imagine standing at the crossroads of your existence, questioning everything, every smile, every tear, every heartbeat. This is the moment when philosophy steps in, and today we dive deep into a battle of ideas. Existentialism versus absurdism. Our story begins with Ava, a bright yet troubled soul in her early 30s. She had always believed that the world was brimming with meaning and purpose. But after a series of personal and professional setbacks, a failed relationship, the sudden loss of a close friend, and a career that felt more like a dead end than a calling, Ava found herself lost in a maze of doubt. One chilly autumn evening, sitting alone on a worn-out park bench, she whispered to herself, "What is the point of anything?" That single question became the spark for her journey into the heart of philosophical inquiry. Ava plunged into books and online forums, desperate for answers. Soon she encountered the writings of Jean-Paul Sartre, the towering figure behind existentialism. Sartre declared that man is nothing else but what he makes of himself. For Ava, these words were like a clarion call. They demanded that even in a world devoid of inherent meaning, you have the power to choose what you become. In this vision, life's inherent blank slate was not a curse, but an invitation to create your own destiny. Existentialism shouts at you to take command of your life. It isn't about waiting for some divine blueprint to emerge. It's about recognizing your freedom, however heavy the responsibility may feel. Ava began to see that every decision, every small choice, was an act of rebellion against the idea that her life was predetermined. The philosophy encouraged her to be authentic, to shape her own narrative regardless of external expectations. It was a message of empowerment, telling her that even amid chaos, she could carve out meaning through action and purpose. Yet as Ava immersed herself in this new mindset, a question lingered. In a world without an inherent plan, isn't every attempt to create meaning just another desperate grasp for order? It was then that she stumbled upon the other side of the coin, the philosophy of absurdism, championed by Albert Camus. Camus argued that the search for meaning in an indifferent universe is, in itself, the source of the absurd. Life, he claimed, has no intrinsic purpose. Any meaning we find is a mere human overlay on a fundamentally chaotic reality. For Camus, the absurd is born from the collision between our deep desire for clarity and the unyielding silence of the universe. His famous myth of Sisyphus, eternally doomed to roll a boulder uphill only for it to crash down each time, became a powerful metaphor for the human condition. Rather than despair, however, Camus urged us to imagine Sisyphus as happy, finding joy not in the achievement of a final goal, but in the very struggle itself. Absurdism does not advocate for nihilism. Instead, it invites us to rebel against the absurdity, to live fully, and to relish the freedom that comes from accepting the world as it is, unpredictable and meaningless at its core. Ava found herself torn between these two compelling yet contrasting philosophies. On one hand, existentialism fueled her desire to shape her destiny. It whispered, "You hold the brush. Paint your own reality." On the other, absurdism stripped away any pretense of order, revealing a raw, unfiltered truth, that life in its grand tapestry is chaotic and often indifferent. This realization didn't lead her to despair, it liberated her. With absurdism, she could laugh at the irony of our frantic search for purpose. One night, as Ava sat in her dimly lit apartment pondering the nature of existence, she realized that perhaps the answer wasn't to choose one philosophy over the other. Instead, it was about embracing the tension between them. Existentialism and absurdism are not mutually exclusive. They are two sides of the same coin. Both accept that the universe offers no ready-made meaning. They differ only in their responses. Existentialism demands that you actively create meaning, while absurdism dares you to accept the inherent chaos and live despite it. To illustrate this, Ava recalled a conversation with her mentor, a wise yet eccentric professor named Marcus. Marcus once said, "If the world gives you lemons of meaningless randomness, squeeze them into lemonade or relish the sourness. Either way, it's your choice." This simple statement encapsulated the powerful duality at the heart of these philosophies. It wasn't about rejecting one for the other, but about acknowledging the complexity of existence and navigating it with both determination and humor. As days turned into nights, Ava began to experiment with her newfound understanding. She started small, a personal project here, a spontaneous road trip there. She allowed herself to be free of the relentless pressure to find one ultimate truth. In moments of profound solitude, she would reflect on the words of Camus, allowing the absurdity of life to wash over her like a powerful tide. In other moments, she adopted Sartre's call to action, seizing every opportunity to assert her individuality and shape her destiny. Her transformation wasn't immediate or dramatic. It was subtle, a series of small revolutions within her heart and mind. Soon, Ava's friends noticed a change, a spark, a light. She became a storyteller, sharing her journey with others who were equally lost in the search for meaning. In coffee shops, art galleries, and quiet corners of bustling streets, she spoke passionately about the choice between forging your own path or simply accepting that sometimes life just is. So, which philosophy holds the truth? Is it the empowering call to create meaning, or the honest acknowledgement of life's absurdity? Perhaps the real revelation is that the answer isn't a simple black and white choice. Instead, it's a vibrant, ever-changing spectrum. The tension between these philosophies mirrors the tension within each of us, a constant balancing act between our yearning for significance and the unpredictability of existence. Maybe, just maybe, the beauty of life lies not in reaching a definitive conclusion, but in the journey itself, the continuous quest to ask questions, to challenge assumptions, and to live with the thrilling uncertainty of it all. Whether you lean toward the proactive demands of existentialism or the liberating acceptance of absurdism, remember this: your life is your canvas. Paint it with bold strokes, let the chaos inspire you, and above all, never lose the capacity to wonder. Now I leave you with this parting thought. In a universe that offers no guarantees, the only certainty is the freedom to choose. So what will you choose today? To create, to rebel, or perhaps to simply be? The answer might lie in your next decision, your next action, your next breath. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Share your journey, your struggles, your revelations. Because at the end of the day, the truth is that we hold the power. Even when the universe goes silent, your voice is the spark that can light up the dark. Thank you for joining me on this exploration of ideas. Until next time, keep questioning, keep daring, and remember, your existence is your greatest masterpiece. Drop a comment, smash like if this messed with your head, and subscribe for more philosophical fire. Until next time, keep pushing that boulder, or at least enjoy the view.